Development Bank Group member states for its 59th edition of the annual meeting slated to take place from the 27th to the 31st of May this year, in a bid to explore fiscal solutions for Africa. Our reporter, Nicole Njuguna, is following up on the meeting and now joins us live from KICC. Nicole, good afternoon to you. What's the latest on the day one of this all-important meeting that is set to explore fiscal solutions for Africa?
Indeed, a good afternoon to you, Jesse. Thank you very much. And the Africa Development Bank Group has just hosted, or rather has just kicked off its 59th annual meeting here in Nairobi, Kenya. And this is big because Kenya gets to host the 59th annual general meeting. And this year, the AFDB is turning 60. It is celebrating 60 years of impact. Now, the theme for this year's annual meeting is the Africa Development Bank Group, Africa's transformation, the Africa Development Bank Group, and the reform of the global financial structure. Now, this will see various leaders and heads of state assembled here in Nairobi, Kenya at the KICC from today, the 27th, to the 31st of May, 2024, in a bid to explore financial solutions for Africa, just like you said. On Wednesday, we can expect a presidential debate on how different heads of state can explore fiscal solutions for Africa. And this conversation on the theme is what will set the tone for the rest of the meeting. So essentially on Thursday, we can also expect the launch of the Africa Economic Outlook 2024, which basically analyzes how African countries have been performing. And it also gives more like a roadmap on how these countries can achieve a sustainable growth for Africa's transformation. So some of the topics that we can expect to discuss, or rather to hear the heads of state discuss in this year's 59th annual meeting, is manufacturing and jobs in the manufacturing sector. So in as much as Africa has recorded quite some growth over the last couple of years in the manufacturing industry, this compares lowly to other continents. So we expect to see them talk about this. Another thing that we expect them to see to discuss is incomplete transformation of Africa. So Africa's transformation is quite incomplete because Africa hosts the largest number of poverty at 33% compared to the world. And it is also worth noting that in as much as the 10 world's fastest growing economies are here in Kenya, that growth has not really translated to much. And because of that, Africa as a continent is behind on achieving its sustainable development goals by 2030. And an investment needs to be made for Africa's transformation, really. To accelerate that transformation for Africa's socio-economic growth. So another thing to note is that the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russian-Ukraine war has caused quite a significant gap in the amount of resources that can be allocated, or rather directed towards achieving the SDGs 2030, and that is part of what the Africa Finance Development 59th annual meeting seeks to achieve. So you can expect to, even as I finish, you can expect that we'll bring you subsequent updates on the different meetings and the sessions of the Africa Development Bank Group, and even the launch of the Economic Report 2024. Thank you, and back to you in studio, Jesse.
Well, thanks for that update, Nicole Njuguna from the